Add your a little bit at a time. It's really not as much as you think.
We're here with flour, cornstarch, and yeah, so flour and cornstarch.
You gotta take turns. No two people in the station at the same time.
There you go.
Not yet. Sit down first,
Oh,
okay?
oh.
Not yet, not yet. It's just a demo per thing to do, okay? Because I'm gonna demo capsule making and refrigeration as well. Okay? All right. And then we can all be doing the rest.
I'm gonna let you do the demo.
Okay.
Titration, I call it.
Backpacks first, backpacks, and that corner, all backpacks, because we need all of the tables for station.
Where? On the floor?
Corner by the cash register and the computer.
I'm sorry. So you got it? What do you do?
The back.
I need to go.
That will always be your station for backpack. Okay? We don't need the computers today. We need our hands and our brains today. Okay. So Mr. should did a demo of weighing powders. No one weighing powders. Get back. So we're gonna do a demo. 3 demos first.
Capsules? Oh, there's right here.
Weighing powders, we choose through. Okay, to get through them all. Okay, compound. Now, on the compounds part, you're gonna be smart. Okay, when you choose your powder, you're gonna be smart. Because on the compounds part, you're gonna have to choose cornstarch, flour, or Smarties to be mixed with another liquid, which is water. So it's hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. Get it? So if I were you, I'm either gonna choose cornstarch, flour, or Smarties. You only choose one of the 3 for the compounds part. You are to mix that with a liquid, in this case, sterile water. What do you think are we trying to accomplish on the compounds for the mixing part? If we are to mix a powder and a liquid.
Think you're like creamy consistency?
Is it cream? Because that's a powder that dissolves. It's
Oh.
a powder that dissolves, solution or suspension. Very good. Okay. The 2 dosage forms we're trying to make are solutions or suspension. And these are questions I'm going to ask from you. If the powder dissolves 100% and it becomes a liquid form, what do you call that dosage form? I said that in the video, solution, correct? If the powder is not meant to be dissolved 100% and they actually settle at the bottom, what do you call that dosage form?
Suspension.
Suspension, very good. Take note of this, things I'm telling you, because those are the things we will be asking you during the check. What is an auxiliary label that must be put on every suspension? I mentioned this again in the video.
With suspension, shake it.
What auxiliary label? Shake well before using. Right? Why? The particles, the solid particles, which is usually all the active ingredients, settle at the bottom. Okay? When they settle at the bottom, you pour it. It's mostly just an inactive ingredient, or water, or whatever diluent is what you're pouring. So shake well before using so that that active ingredient gets disseminated or evenly distributed in the liquid part. What is that one thing that we add in a suspension so that it doesn't settle at the bottom fast?
You know this. We have this in motion.
We add this agent so that
You just gave it to us.
no, fast. It's not coagulating agent. What is it? It's a suspension, so it's a suspending agent. Yes! Okay, so that gave it to him. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. Sheesh, I learned that. Okay, so now I made it up. Okay, Nicole, you don't want to be here?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so try, okay? And then the other thing that you can't, that you all have to do is have 2 semi-solids. No matter what. So for the compounds, you only choose one of the 3, okay? And then everybody must do the flip and fold method, which is the 2 semi-solids. Why? It's also in the video. Why do you need to learn that flip and fold method? Where do we use that? What dosage form do we use it in? Lotions, ointment, cream, usually ointments, okay, flip and fold method. We're gonna do a demo of that. Everybody will reconstitute, okay? Because this is part of your job. Everybody will have to reconstitute. And what is reconstitution? It can be sterile and non-sterile, okay? When we're reconstituting non-sterile, what am I talking about? Can you think of a drug? It can be a drug in general, not necessarily a brand in engineering, that we need to reconstitute. Yeah, amoxicillin, antibiotics, okay? Antibiotics need to be reconstituted. And what's the rule? We don't reconstitute right away. When do we reconstitute? What did Ms. Trisha say? What did I say in the video? When the caregiver, the parent, or the patient is already there at the window to pick it up. Why? You don't want to waste that drug. What if the parents, the family, the caregiver don't believe in antibiotics? The prescription came in, and then you reconstituted it. Okay? They didn't pick up. You're going to have to throw that away. That's not something that we can return. It's one of the things that you need to remember to not returnable. Okay? That's why we don't reconstitute right away. Or the family, the patient, doesn't have money for the copay or doesn't have an insurance. Didn't pick up. All those things. Okay? You don't want to waste that. So once they're there, that's the only time you reconstitute. Okay? We have a reconstitute right there. That's what we use in pharmacies for reconstituting. However, it's only one. So what we're going to do in reconstituting here, okay, you're going to have demo antibiotics. All of you will have a demo amoxicillin or a demo augmentin or a demo cephalosporin. There'll be instructions on the label, and I will demo one time how to reconstitute. You will be using graduated cylinders though, okay, to measure the liquid. Is that clear? Because I can't have you all in the reconstitute, okay? And it's a good way to learn using the graduated cylinder. All of this are already covered on the lecture part. I'm just emphasizing. Unit dose. You will have to unit dose. This is going to be a lot. You will have to unit dose. I'll choose any controlled substance PO. So asterisk that. Which means you're going to have to unit dose a tablet or a capsule. That's what PO means. So in a hospital, when they say, I'm in the PO section today, that means you're filling prescriptions that come in, and they're usually they're the buy now. Okay? I'm going to be in the IV room today. Obviously, you're going to be in the clean room or IV room making injectables. Okay. So after that must be done. Next one. You are going to have to unit dose non-controlled substances, liquid PO. You're going to be using an oral syringe, okay? Pull from that liquid stock bottle, okay? Hopefully, I can get to, after the reconstitution of the antibiotics part as well today, because that's still solid. Now, when we come back, focus on the liquids, okay? I'm just saying what needs to be done during this lab, okay? And the last one, everybody will have to blister pack. Why do I want you to do the unit dosing and blister pack? Because you do that both in the hospital, nursing homes, assisted living, other specialty settings, okay? Specialty pharmacies. Okay. Capsule making. Okay. I will show you how to make capsules today. Okay. I'm not gonna check it off though. Okay. I will have you watch me make capsules. Okay. I'm still thinking if I'm gonna have them.
Are we putting it in this
On the blank.
blank?
You can put that in the blank. Okay. I'm trying to time it. Okay. Usually I'd have you do it individually. Okay. I'm just gonna demo the use of capsule molds. Okay. And then the basic skills, you'll have to do this. That station will be here. How do you count tablets and capsules? I should have told you. You heard it in the video. By fives. Okay, by fives. I may stand next to you and start counting 98, 99, 100. Right? And you're gonna be mad at me? Okay. Sometimes it's crazy because when students come back and say, "It's so ridiculous, Miss L. There's another trick that counts like one." And then another thing, usually a bottle will contain either 60, 30, or 100 already. Okay, stock bottles, there's 500, 1,000 tablets in there. Okay, that's where it counts. What techs usually do, or pharmacists usually do, if it's already 60 and you need 60, they just slap a label right there. Be very careful though, okay? Each company has different rules. Sometimes they want you to repackage it, which doesn't make sense, right? But sometimes, or most of the time, they're okay dispensing the actual bottle if it contains the requested or the prescribed amount. Okay? When you do that, when you're just slapping a label, you should avoid something. What should you avoid when slapping the label on it? The barcode, correct. Okay, the barcode and the expiration date. Okay, it should always be shown. Okay, and when you stick that label. Hi.
Hi, yes, I got to use someone for venipuncture.
Not yet. Okay. We'll send them there once they're done. But I think this is going to be a busy day for us.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. Usually I send them no problem, but we're trying to catch up.
No,
Thank you.
you're good.
Usually I send you that we do that. We try to help each other. Okay. We're the program that usually don't need anybody. I mean, kind of talks about your teacher, but usually we don't need anyone, okay? Because we don't have to like ask them to volunteer for your teeth clean. When teeth cleaning is offered, we tell you go. Your instructors are dancers and they're really, really good. Go have your teeth clean, okay? Venipuncture, I have to bribe students. We're gonna give you this, or gonna be bribe students, like give you this, yeah.
I
But
go for
us-
the venipuncture before I go for the dentistry.
Yeah. Now, we may need, yeah, we may need them for free clinics. Okay? You may need them to practice on arms later on, who knows, right? But as of right now, in my 12 years, we really didn't need another patient because we don't deal with patients directly like that. Okay? So going back,
You were on.
counting by fives, okay? So we can dispense, but depending on the company. Another thing, okay? So there's 100 in here, but we only need 90. What others do, they pour the 10, okay? And give the 90. You can't do that, okay? You have to do the 90 and put the 10 back in the original bottle. Okay, not the other way around. No, okay? We're gonna teach you all of these as we go on, but today I'm targeting 3, okay? Plus FYI for Constitution. Okay, next one. Water and pestle. You only need to choose one from the first 3. Okay, and then you have to do the geometric dilution. I talked about this in the video as well. Geometric dilution. Okay. And then for measuring liquids, you just have to choose one.
Would they need to choose 2 then, since they have to do geometric dilution?
This is what I was about to say. You gotta be smart. You gotta plan, because if you're choosing one liquid and you're gonna use that for the other, then you choose the liquid that you will be using for the other checkoffs, don't you think? That's why I'm giving you 2 minutes to think about and plan your checkoffs. Because there are common denominators in the checkoffs. You see that? So if you're to choose a powder and you need that powder for the other stuff, you want to measure that powder. And you want to use that powder. Okay? And if you are to choose a liquid, then you will have to measure that to the liquid portion. You want to choose that liquid. Did you see the overlaps? Yeah? Not all, but there may be good active ingredients and diluents that you can use or put together for your checkoffs. Okay. Patricia has demonstrated the weighting part, correct? Okay. We always pair or zero in to take out the weight of the weigh boat. Okay? But in case we forgot, a good hack would be to measure an empty weigh boat exactly the same time. Okay? And take out that weight. So we're only going to get the weight of the substance or the powder that we're measuring. In compounding, in manufacturing, we always have a margin of error. Hint, hint, wink, wink, this always comes up as a test, as part of the test. I mentioned this, the margin of error is 1%.
We talked about it last year too.
Oh, see, Patricia, just straight on a turning red over there, because she's trying to tell me we've gone over this, all of this, but it doesn't seem like you did, and I'm repeating what she said. 5%, correct. Margin of error in manufacturing and compounding is 5%, which means plus minus 5%. You better remember that. Plus minus 5%. And what does that mean? So if you are to measure 100 milligrams of a substance, plus 5% would mean 105 milligrams, correct? Minus 5% would mean 95 milligrams. Which means the weight of the substance is acceptable from 95 to 105 milligrams. That's what you call the margin of error. But we don't want to keep doing that, right? So we try to aim for accuracy, okay? So when you weigh, guys, when you weigh,
Still.
I don't want you to be weighing what? I'm saying it's still within the plus minus 5%. If it says 4 grams, then there one is to be 4.0. For 4 milligrams, or 400 milligrams, 400. You try to aim for that. Okay? Another thing, some books will say margin of error for capsules, though, is, I mentioned this too, 12% for capsules. A lot of companies, manufacturers, pharmacies don't do that. That's too high a margin of error. So we stick to the general rule of 5%. What I just want you to say, what I just want to tell you is, if it's a multiple choice question and it's specific to capsule, the rule really is 12%. But if it's like in general, margin of error is 5%. So of course we want to be as conservative as possible and as accurate as possible. So we do the 5%. That clear? Okay. So when we do your checkup, they'll say, it's within the plus minus 5%. We'll do that. Okay, and sometimes, you know what I do? I breathe and see if it'll change. I pass by and see if it'll change. Okay, that's fine. Are we okay with the weighting? You've seen how it's done? Always tear, add the substance. It's easier to add than to scoop out. Okay, when you've had the weight that you need, all you need to say is pharmacist check. I will run, or Mr. Schul will run. Okay, and check it out. It may get busy, okay, but we will get to you, okay? So sign the initial try, and we will sign the pharmacist side, okay? First attempt, you see the first attempt? Initial that. You need to use pen, not pencil, okay? Pen, not pencil, okay? Have your own pen as well, okay? We have spare pens if you don't have any, but you should have. You're a student. It's one of the requirements. It's like their weapon in bed. Okay, next one would be trituration. You've seen the video on trituration, correct? Okay, trituration is making a tablet or a solid substance into finer smoother, smaller particles using mortar and pestles. I'm not going to deal with the different types of mortars and pestles. You already know that. But again, we use ceramic for solid substances. When do we use glass? Liquid and colored substances. Liquid, semi-solid, and colored substances. So what we will use to represent the tablets are Smarties. Okay? So we will try to triturate them, but you're also going to be checked out on geometric dilution. So when you do your checkup for trituration, you have to do a geometric dilution method too. And what does that mean? Who watched that video? I had 5 Smarties. Remember? What is geometric dilution? In layman's terms.
We did this in the chapter as well.
It's a process of evenly mixing drugs, but how do we do that? Yes, Rainy?
Two of the substances will be different sizes, but you kind of have to bring it to use like a uniform.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So if they're both solids, say they're both solids, okay? You're going to have to scoop out an amount, put it in the mortar, okay? And then get another scoop from, say, for example, substance A, scoop out, get substance B, about an equivalent amount as you scooped out from substance A. And then mix the two together, okay, or triturate using mortar and pestle. Now you have, say, for example, the 1 + 1 of substance A and B. Now you have to get an equal portion of A and B again, but this time 2. You get it? The equal amount that's inside that mortar. Addition of substances in equal portions. You get it? There's a video on that I did, and it's right there on your class. Okay? Either on Blackboard or it's on YouTube. Okay? Equal portion. That actually allows us to mix the substances evenly powdered. So now I have 5 tablets. Okay? I need to triturate this based on the prescriptions here, for example. Okay? So I'm going to start off with 1. Okay? And triturate this. What's the best way to triturate? You can stand. What do I need? Is it speed that I need, or is it pressure that I need?
Pressure.
Very good. Pressure first. Okay, pressure. And then you actually do the circular method. Okay. Now I have how many tablets in here?
1.
A geometric dilution would mean equal addition or equal portion. So how much do I add?
1.
Another 1 right there. Pressure again. Then do that. Okay. Now how many do I have inside?
2.
Then how many do I have to add?
2.
That is geometric dilution. But if it's in powder form, you scoop out an amount and you'll have to see which one is equivalent. Okay.
So it's literally a 1 for 1? Like a 1 for 1?
Equal portions. Addition of equal portions. So now I have this. How many is inside?
4.
Do I have 4 left?
No.
So I just have to add it in here. Okay. Okay, continue triturating. Anyone, okay? And I want to show you how I check it out. Make sure you aim for what?
Fine powder.
Fine powder. Just show you how that.
Yeah, it should be up there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Okay. We have mortar cards. Okay. We have mortar cards. And what does this do? You scrape this off the side so that you can get every single particle that you need. Okay. Isn't this the most fun class? Because this is the most fun lab class. Okay. Look for fineness. Okay. students, we have the students you think are tall in real life are not that tall, and then the ones you think are short from the camera are not really short. Like when students tell me, oh my gosh, you're so short, and I walk in all the time. Something like that. Ready? Okay, say for example, Kevin said, pharmacist chat, I'm ready. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Okay. Don't do that, though. Examination, okay? You're gonna get used to me when I'm on campus, okay? That's not even. I'll scoop this out, and then I'll put it on a good piece of paper. And then I'll creep it like this. If I hear crackling sound, you fail. Okay? So you want to test it yourself first. This is actually fine, but you can still use some more. Right? It's easy to triturate. Salt is. So if I were you, I'm not going to use a lot of salt. If there's no requirement for a week for the salt, it will take you a whole day to triturate the salt. So use very, very little of it. Okay? It's good, but continue to do that. Okay? So that's how we would check it out. And then we'll ask you, how much is this? And this, and this, and this, other things that you've learned about salt. Like I thought Noah's short on camera because he's all this video. Oh, okay. I look at him. Okay? Okay, let's cut this one off for now. Then get back to your seats. And we'll do we only have one capsule mold. Okay? Now I'm going to require you all to make a capsule. Should you have a title? Okay. I know there's a video, but I always want to do it. This is not magic. You know how moms are. Like, make sure you run to the kitchen and start helping your mom.
It's always when the baby's sleeping. You do that.
Okay, so I'm not gonna do this for you all the time. It's just the first day, that's why we're doing that. When you walk in here, you do this, you pull around yourself, okay? You don't have assistants, okay? I actually came from a country where pharmacists don't have assistants either, okay? Pharmacy technicians aren't a thing in the Philippines and in other countries. Pharmacists do all hard work from beginning to end, okay? And I don't regret that. Made it stronger, okay? But with you guys, we're not nurses that have assistants to the assistants to the assistants to the assistants. I couldn't even keep up. Like there's so many nurses, right? There's the CNA, the whatever it is, the assistant, the RN. I don't even know which one's the highest and which one's the lowest. I don't even know who's allowed to wipe, and I don't know who's not allowed to wipe. Yeah? Okay, so we don't have that in pharmacy. Okay? Pharmacists and pharmacy technicians work together. That's it. Okay? So don't expect us to be pulling this stuff for you guys. Okay? You're walking. Just now, because it's the first day. Capsule making. We usually use molds. Not molds, but I can't think. Capsule filler. Capsule filling device. Okay? We usually use capsule filling device. They may be in plastic or other forms. Okay? So a capsule comes in different sizes. Who has watched the video on the different sizes of capsules? Hands up. No? Why did you not watch it?
But it was in the notes stuff. It was in the lecture.
Right. How many sizes, capsule sizes do we have?
It's from 000.
So count, how many? How many capsule sizes do we have?
9.
8. 8! There are 8 capsule sizes. A 000, a 00, a 0, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one's the largest?
000.
000. Which one is the smallest? 5.
Number 5.
5. So you gotta remember that.
Just like the needle.
Yeah.
Opposite.
Okay, we have here capsule size 000, which is big, okay? And I do have here a capsule size filler, which is a 0. Okay, what we usually do is to separate the body and the cap, okay? what we do, we put the body in here. This comes in 50, 200, 100. This one that I have is actually 50 capsules in one batch. Okay, so we don't have our own. So what I do, I put the bodies in here. What we do, we put the bodies in here. Okay, and then of course you measure your powder, your substances, or whatever you mix. Say for example, I've already measured this. Okay, and you have all the bodies in here. Okay. You separate all the capsules that you need. You're not going to do a checkup on this one, okay? So we're going to jump to that Reconstitution.
The other side. Other side.
The tab is here.
We'll get close for you.
Okay. Without the use of the device, the capsule filling device, you can make capsules, small portions. Prescription says 12, only 12. Have all the 12 ready, separate the body from the cap. Okay? So you have to wear gloves on this one. Okay? Separate the body from the cap. Wear gloves.
And why do we want to wear gloves?
Can I get on my hands? Because they could be absorbed by skin.
And we don't want to get our oils
Oh.
on there either, but yes.
First, we don't want our body oils on the capsule,
That's
which actually
something.
goes directly to the mouth of our patient. Okay? So this part, even if we're doing non-sterile, is the part wherein you have to wear gloves. First, you wash your hands, wear your gloves. You separate the body from the cap. Punch method. Okay? The word, it says punch. How do we do that? First, like what I said, separate all the caps from the body. Which one do I use for punch method? Is it the body or the cap? Body. It's the body. So what you do, Mr. Shaw, where's your spatula?
You haven't.
I use it. You make a block. There's actually a video I've showed in there too. We've done link, okay? There's another pharmacist from North Carolina who I used, a reference I used to demo. Make a block. The height of the block should be about half of the height of the body of the capsule. Okay? Punch method. Punch, twist, punch, twist, punch, twist, punch, twist until it's full. Cap, not yet tightly, loosely. Okay? Because you're still going to have to measure. But of course, remember, this is a pre-measured substance. Okay? So this is the punch method. You're only going to use this for small portions. Can you imagine having to make 1,000 capsules using this? Of course not. Okay? When you're done with everything, you lock. I'm not going to deal with the different types of capsules. That's on your lecture too. You lock by twisting it. Okay. And what's the last part after you make the capsule?
Wipe it.
You gotta clean it. We don't use any fancy equipment or fancy paper. It's just clean it for aesthetic purposes. And then we put it in a prescription bottle. Is that clear? That's the punch method. Okay. Using the device, you separate all the bodies from the cap. 50. The device is 50. It comes in 100, 200, etc. Okay. All the bodies go in here. What you do, you scoop this out, pour it over, use a border card or whatever it is, and scrape it until everything is filled. Okay? You release this, now the bodies come out, right? And then you start counting. Faster, right? Now this is for 50, a prescription of 50. And then you have 200. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Last one, antibiotics. Okay? Breathe 30 seconds. So that's your constitute. I'm skipping that checkup. I just want you to know how to make that. But you're free to practice. We'll put that in one corner. Okay? But it's not part of the checkup today. Antibiotic is important. So I want to get to the antibiotic part. You only give it one of these 3 antibiotics. It can be an amoxicillin. It can be an amoxicillin, a step, or an augmentin. Okay, we need a graduated student. Maybe I'll have you do this check off and then do that antibiotics. Any questions on the 2 things that you need to do? Again, this one you don't have to make, but we will put it in one station. Feel free to practice and use it. Okay? We will focus more on the ointments, the creams, this one. Okay? You're not going to be making a lot of capsules, but you should know how to make capsules. So that's basic. You have any questions on the weighing part and the trituration part? Don't take your sweet time on the trituration. You really, really want to do the antibiotics part. Okay? Let's get up now. Okay? Start working on the part.
I think she's gonna have best for.
Oh.
Are you gonna do a demo
No,
first?
no, no.
Oh, okay.
I'll do the demo later. I want you to start getting a little bit here. I said I'm just gonna move the capsule making later. I want to see at least half done. Because this is more specific, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because this is a triple.
I think that's the only thing we have. We have 2 triple zeros.
This is from CSN. We have 1 jar, 1 jar, a 0.
I only saw 2 triples.
Make sure you use a pen. Call us for pharmacist check when you're ready, okay? Social distancing, observe social distancing still.
You want 0 or double 0?
Okay. I need a 0 for the bowl. Thank you.
Starch and flour seeds.
There are only 2 weighing stations. So if you're not able to use the weighing station, start your trituration now. Start your geometric dilution. We have more mortars and pestles than we have weighing. You can sit down. You do trituration just so you don't have to. You can sit down when you do trituration. Cards, boiler cards. Now is the time you start finding your stuff in the pharmacy, okay? Don't need different parts of this pharmacy. This is your pharmacy. You gotta figure out where things are at this point, okay? Freshmen not excused anymore, okay? You may sit down, huh? Just because I demoed it standing up, it doesn't mean that it has to be done standing up, okay? Have glycine papers ready next to you for checkoff. No more than 2 per row, huh? On the other side.
Ceramic pestles.
We can try the capsule making station. Again, the filling device is size 0. Okay, so use the size 0 for the filling device.
Ready?
Everybody working, you want to start counting? If you guys the luxury of time today.
Pharmacist check.
Let me get my pen. I spilled all my water with my pen. Hold up, guys. I want to make this point. If you are going to have us check off cornstarch, say for example, in this case, you have to have the label showing your pharmacist all the time, so we know what we're checking off, okay? Sometimes I'll be everything here. What am I checking off? Okay?
This is the Kevin. But it's like- Oh.
You done?
I'm gonna do that one.
Raise your hand if you're done. Because I can hear what's happening better. Okay. When you do your pharmacist check, ask get the metal spatula.
Pharmacist check. 0.4 for the non-sterile. Zero it out now.
You done with both? We got a demo on Reconstitution. Are you done with both?
For both, almost. I think one more.
Choose two, but you did two. Oh, you teach your grade.
I should read it first. Pharmacist check.
Yeah, on the Zoom. Yeah. Let's see paper. I'm not checking you off. Have a good paper. Let's see paper. What do I use? Let's see in paper.
Pharmacist check.
Okay, freshman reminder. I need your license applications, okay? We're ending. Hold on. Let's see in paper and spatula. When you call for pharmacist check for trituration, you want to make sure that you have a good paper and a spatula, and you snag it from your classmates. Now, guys, on the trituration, which one is this? This is the compound. You are on here. Initial here, and then I'll do this.
So this is check.
Ready? And out.
Yeah.
You guys are fast. Good job.
Yeah, just two. Times this check.
Ladies, the boys are so fast. How are you doing?
I just need to.
Okay.
I'm done.
No.
Here.
Listen, guys. Wait.
Oh, I still gotta do
I'm
this.
gonna say go if there are particles around. That's included in the weight. Okay, so clean up. Clean up the pants of the weight. What? The balance. Okay, the balance. Are you done? Ooh. Okay, you done the trituration, but you're gonna wait. So,
Times this check.
Perfect. Good job.
25 salt. He's cheap.
Did you
Did you give them a prescription?
I'm sorry, did you give them a prescription? You have to be counting it and counting the prescription and counting. It should be.
You can use another.
Good job, guys. So I'm gonna do a demo on recon. I'm sorry, Mrs. Sun? We'll put the water in the beaker.
Yes, you're supposed to be visible. Sorry, guys. You're supposed to be visible.
Yeah,
I didn't know if it
pharmacist check. We'll go on break at 10:30, so let's check the short form. 10:30, you should have done your trituration and your weights, okay?
Non-controlled is the liquid, and controlled is the, okay. Controlled is the tablets.
Hear that? A little bit more.
Oh, that's good. Okay, yeah.
On the counting, you will either be given a prescription of a controlled substance or a non-controlled substance. You get a bottle and pretend that that is a prescription, and then you count that in front of us by 5.
So you just, can we do it the jury one? You want the bottle?
I give you the prescription.
I know.
You have to grab a controlled and or a non-controlled depending on the prescription. If it's a controlled, how many times? Sorry. If it's a controlled, how many times do you count? Twice. At least twice. You gotta remember that, right? That's part of the lecture. If it's not controlled once, it's fine. Everything you're doing it twice, okay? So double count, because I saw some of them doing the counting already.
Times this check.
Okay, so you check it in the middle first, if not, get it.
Yeah. I don't know how long we've been in there.
Initial.
I was just kind of using the calculator.
Are you ready? Yeah. Not dump the powders in the thing, trash bins. White pure, penetrates fire. Okay, but we don't have a left-handed. Just so you know, some pharmacies got a left-handed counting tray. You may ask for them, but we don't have a left-handed counting. It's part of the way.
Are we allowed to do this?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, okay. But do you know how to use the graded order already?
Not really.
That's why I said I will have to stop the demo until I can show you how to do this.
Okay, gotcha.
But if you're waiting, right there. So, have you triturated?
Yeah, so I get the 5.
And then get another bowl or pill. Remember that has a portion already in it? So
I can just use that.
Good. As long as, that's why I said you gotta plan, you gotta be smart when you do this checkup. Where's my steel spatula? Okay. I'm using the same spatula because you're all using the same code and code drug or something, okay? But you can't use same spatula for different substances or cross-contamination. No, think about it. You're gonna use that for okay. Before you dispose of your Smarties, think about it. If you're gonna use that for another checkup. Ready?
For the sulfur that you mentioned,
Who's gone with both ways? Hands up. Who's gone with trituration? Okay. I want to send you on break for 15 minutes and then we come back for reconstitution of antibiotics. Okay? We're fast. It's good, 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 good. We're getting to our target.
When we do the mixing, what instrument we use to mix it?
To mix? For mixing?
Yeah.
Are you mixing solid and liquid or are you mixing solid and liquid? Okay, so either hold off on that one because you're going to get
Oh, okay. So I think I finished both then.
You finish both ways in the trituration?
Yeah, I'm doing that one too.
What is it?
Yep. And then
but we use electronic.
It's only these three. Whatever.
I think we're down to two. We need some order.
I thought I'd have the hexagon
Oh, there's only now?
in there, because I ordered a bag. Ordered a bag.
I think we're gonna go on break.
I have a new planner and I got that today.
You did what?
I have a new planner and I got
For now.
that today. Because my wallet.
Oh, that sucks.
At least my laptop is working.
Yes.
It got wet on the charger, so I was worried.
Yeah.
It's still wet. Anyway.
Next time.
We're moving fast. I think we can do a lot. So Reconstitution is my target, so I can use the graduated cylinder. And then maybe
I just put two different sizes.
I
for
need a
them.
beaker so that I can show them that they come in a beaker.
Yeah, this was Capsules.
I want to send them on break for 15. Who called for this stuff? Robert, you cover your hand. What happened to your hand? Are you done? 3? Okay, we'll go on 3.
Yeah, two different ways. Then your head.
Who's that? Hands up. Okay, I'm gonna send you on break now if you're done. 15 minutes. Okay. 10:30. Come back at 10:45. So you will be the first batch I'm going to teach for Constitution. Okay. Go now. 15 minutes break. Go straight on. You need to sound. Breathe. Get out.
That's what you said. You want to take your laptop off?
I want to do a demo. I don't know.
And liquid measure. Like liquid.
I'm gonna cover the liquid when I do. It's like getting 2 birds with 1 stone. Right here, 5s and 10s. Green bins. Coming. When you're done with your weights and your trituration, you may go on a 15-minute break. Pause, everyone. Remember, guys, the circle has to be at the middle of the bubble. on your weighing scales. Okay, if not, that means you're not weighing correctly. So how do you make the circle go at the middle of the bubble? You touch the legs. Remember that on the video? You move the legs until it's in the middle. This is the easiest scale to use, the electronic balance. You don't want to use the other balances, it will take you forever to balance. Okay? That's the middle.
Yeah.
Still correct. One try.
Yeah. Have a 5 smart.
Stay on the station. You can't be walking with your Stay in the station. I'm not going to check you off walking around. Perfect. Okay. Good job. Good job. Is it here or here?
That's the counting.
Oh, you started it.
Counting by 5, by 3, practices, double counting.
I'm going to check you out on the time. Okay?
No, go ahead. That one. You
So
already
I'm
did.
checking you all right.
Get it done. So you should have orders. You have to have this on my So what I did was 4, 5, and then 2,
For geometric values, should you go to the one shot
Or at least explain what you
or
did.
explain what you did? Yeah.
So for this exercise, you would
No, but you have to have it off. So you have to get it.
Oh,
portion
yeah.
of the rock. You get it? Yeah, so do you understand that? That's why I said before you discard your Smarties, think about it. So if you have this much, now you're gonna get this much.
Yeah, 8 salt instead of rock salt.
Yes, you rock salt.
Rock salt takes longer to triturate with this iodized salt. If you have iodized is faster to triturate than rock salt. But not as fast, I know. You don't think you're
I
ever.
checked mine through there.
Yeah. Right now, I'm gonna check if you have it so fast on the salt because it's really hard. Okay, the students have to do it all day.
Yeah, we'll be here until
I'm not
next.
gonna think that this is gonna go on. Yeah, ask Brandon about it. Is the electromagnetic evaluation right? Even if it's iodine.
What do you need? What's more?
Iodine. I gave him the iodine. It's still
The
tough.
rock salt, we'll be here till next Tuesday. You have some muscle on that.
I just leave it.
Yes, we need it. Nope.
Just said it. 2 words you can use. What did you do first?
Yeah.
What is the word?
No, it's you have to do. She wants us to do with salt, and then the 5 smarties.
You got it there?
Yeah. Yeah, because you're gonna keep the powder, but you're gonna add an equivalent amount of salt to it, and then you're gonna triturate it. Anyway, you don't have to. You can just dump it out and then just like measure it like I would. That's what we do. Yeah, you just dump out your smarty powder and you grab the same amount of salt.
I always say take a break, but a lot of the students, almost everyone will take breaks on this class, on this particular class.
So like you dump out like what you can, and then you're gonna scoop a little bit of the salt, and then a little bit of
So we gotta
the
watch them when they're counting.
salt smarties. Or like boom, 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 boom.
Zero.
Yeah, so you're gonna need salt. Don't use this salt, because like now you're gonna be here all day.
Yeah, don't use that salt on the table.
Magic values that addition is equal portions, you know? It's not that easy to read like that.
You're not gonna take it off. Because I need to wash it. Yeah.
For the geometric values, like I'm not expecting you to have it very, very, very fine, okay? I'm gonna think that it doesn't go on a wood, on an open wood, I'm gonna think that it's gonna be encapsulated. But you're gonna be here forever to triturate that salt, okay? But know that there are substances that are coarse, they're not always smooth, and you have to triturate, okay?
That's the one he used. You're gonna be here all day.
You know, my internet is bad.
I would not use that.
Well, my router went out, but we ordered one for the
I don't know.
Yeah, that's why it's called.
I
The other should
I thought I just saw two. It was here. Was it in that coffee?
Yeah. Well, the library.
No, that's straight up coffee mate.
Wi-Fi is bad. I know, I said, I couldn't get it, like the type of first go for you, or the internet.
Mrs. Check. You done?
I just need to do the geometric.
That we should. So, right there in the front.
I guess. Well, I guess we're on.
Okay,
Might as well.
that's why I try to do this in person. It's on
Did you guys consult? Oh, yeah.
So you don't try that.
Attending a training at 11, so I want to do a demo of the Reconstitution and my eyes before I jump into that 11 a.m. meeting, okay? So I do have 2 videos on Reconstitution. Did you see that? I do have 2 videos on Reconstitution.
Yeah.
Do good, some of you already.
Some of you have already counted. Again, how many times do you count controlled substances?
Twice.
Why?
And then.
Bye. Yes, bye. We're going to count twice. Both answers are acceptable. Yeah, I hope we pass us 5 people before we actually release them. Actually, 3. Usually, and 10 check, make up the pharmacy.
And the same thing.
Are you ready? You're waiting for me to tell you?
It's like how she did the first. She was Yeah, same amount of hours. same amount of-
Seven.
Oh,
You know, I don't know, kind of salt
oh.
Oh, yeah, or this class, you should make it do it. And then we'll pass the lab.
You can like. do that too.
Mine are. They get. Someone don't.
Well, but this thing is that's the thing.
No, it's just, yeah, when it's something that. And it's okay during lab time, or like when I'm in lab to have them do that and then discuss it in the next class.
Yeah, but this, she says she's, not even too picky because freezing, salt, and that salt takes forever to make it fine.
I know.
Okay,
Yeah.
at 10:45, everybody has to be seated. I want to do a demo of recon, okay? 10:45, whether you took your break or not, I was giving you a chance to take a break, you guys don't, okay? You just keep working.
Oh,
Rubber hairband or hair tie, I'm trying to find an extra hair tie. Set my alarm for 10:45. Oh, see? I forgot the password. I was inputting my password on my computer.
Oh, for the, it's been so long.
I tried to put in my password twice. Yeah.
And what,
This
did
is
it work?
what I got today, because I broke my other.
Well, no
phone.
wonder it leaks.
Yeah, so I put it here that I start dragging it, so just stupid.
Yeah, but you didn't think about it, huh? That sucks.
No, so I let my laptop.
Oh, I'm standing right in front of that. It's on. No, I don't want to be on video.
Oh, video.
I was
No, I thought.
No, I was standing right in front of you.
Well, I don't have it. I'm gonna use it. We started off with like chaotic, now I can see the flow better. And that's what we're doing. My alarm set for 10:45. Everybody stopping what you're doing at 10:45 because I want to do the demo for Reconstitution and antibiotics. Is it? So my alarm came on? Oh, you're right, it did come on. Okay. Last check off, okay? Last check off, and then everybody will have to stop. we gotta stop and you gotta watch me do the demo on antibiotics. Brandon's my life. Robert. I just said Brandon will be my life. Can you do my pharmacist check? Where in the world? After. I just said it.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Hair tie. I know we're all just hard.
No, that's scary myself.
Miss Rita said she's not gonna check you off if your hair is not pulled back because I'm leaving, right? I'm not leaving, I have to be in a training. Okay, so a couple of things. Okay. We do the demo again in campus, okay? We don't leave you with just the video lectures, okay? Just so you know, okay? The Trish was having a hard time with the night because they're thinking, oh, I'm not doing the video lectures. I didn't come here to watch video lectures, right? But do you feel that way? You repeat it for a reason. You do it again here. Even if I said there's a video in there, we'll always do it here too, okay? So the video is supplemental, but on days we don't need, you gotta watch it so we're not talking to the wall. So you understand what we're talking about. When I walk in, Ms. Trisha covered for almost 1.5 weeks. She said, we've covered this. When I ask you things, I'm double checking if you retain the information, okay? You will be so grateful that you have those videos, those audios, when you walk out of this campus and you take the PTC, okay? That's something that other students don't have, okay? And I gave that to you to walk away with, so you don't have to come back and refresh. No, you're welcome to come back and refresh here, okay? Antibiotics. There are 2 videos on Reconstitution right there, right? Me saying this, Ms. Trisha, and I know that PHA 225, it involves, it's actually pharmacy lab skills, it involves both sterile and non-sterile compounding. I need you to go through the videos on Udemy for non-sterile, finish it 100% and print the certificate. I'm only asking non-sterile. Okay, why? It will definitely help you pass the PTCE and pass your final. The sterile part, I'm not asking the certificate yet. That's when you do your IV cert. Understand? You will not pass 225 without submitting to us the Udemy certificate for non-sterile compounding. Understand? It's going to be part of the lab and the didactic. I'm going to open a link for you to upload that certificate. Is that clear? Okay. Now, Reconstitution. In the old days, pharmacy technicians are not allowed to reconstitute antibiotics. Okay, it's just pharmacists. They don't want it to be accurate. But it depends on the state you're working at. Okay, I want to highlight Reconstitute. Okay. This is a Reconstitute. Okay. So this is distilled water. It's connected to a distilled water. And then, you guys can stand up. You have your drugs and your antibiotics. You pinch this. You pinch this, and then the water comes out. Okay? And then you add that in. However, we only have 20 reconstitutes. So for me to be able to talk about liquid measuring device, what I am going to do is to actually use graduated cylinders, beakers, and the like. There's an entire lecture of measuring liquid substances, okay, on Udemy. I talked about graduated cylinders, the different types of graduated cylinders. I talked about beaker. So this is sterile water, okay? What I'm going to do is to reconstitute this drug. It says here amoxicillin oral suspension, okay? We can ask you, you may be given a different one. It may say amoxicillin and clavulanic potassium. And Ms. Trisha will ask, what is the brand name for this? Okay. Remember, the instructions on the bottle, the label, is what we follow. Okay? Who watched the video on Reconstitution? Nobody did? Okay, you gotta watch that, okay? The first thing you do is to tap. Why do you think I need to tap this bottle?
It's on the bottom.
Okay? It makes it easier for you to dissolve the powder that's in here because of storage, it may have solidified or toughened, so it loosens it up. Okay. The next one is for me to read the instructions. Okay? The instruction says, I got progressives and I can't read. Okay. Tap the bottle, it even says tap the bottle on the instructions. Until all powder flows freely. And add approximately a third total amount of water for Reconstitution. Okay, and it says open and close parenthesis, total 119. Shake vigorously to wet powder. Add remaining water. Again, shake vigorously. It says here, add a third of the total, right? But if there's no specific instruction like that, what you can do is to add half. Okay, add half, shake, and then add the remaining half. This one was specific, add a third. And how much did it say? Add how many? 119 ml. Okay, graduated cylindrical. Which one's more accurate, the conical or the cylindrical? The cylindrical is more accurate. Okay, so this one, 119. This is only 100. What do we do with the 19? You get another graduated cylinder. You have the 19. But now can I use 200? Yes, you can use a 200. But now can I use a 50 or you're going to have to use so many of the 50? Okay, right? Because what I want you to do, or you can use 150. Okay? But before I proceed, I want to ask you, what's the most accurate, you think, liquid measuring device? I mentioned this in the video too. What's the most accurate liquid measuring device? A syringe. Very good. Because it can go as small as 0.1. Okay? So I need 119. You don't need sterile water to do that. Okay? It's just that some of your prescriptions say sterile. Okay. I talked about graduated cylinder. I talked about the lower meniscus and the upper meniscus. Where do you look? No, the lower. Okay? Let me draw. God showered Helen for drawing. I was probably hungover or sleeping, so forgive me. I did a lot of crazy drawings on the board, and my students were like, "What is that?" Okay. Okay, so here's your graduated cylinder. Say, for example, there's no trash. I used to just worry like that one. Here we go. Okay, so you need 100 ml, say for example, and this is the 100 ml mark. Okay, it should be right over here, lower meniscus. On case, okay? Because the water will have that shadow. Where do you look? On the lower meniscus. Okay? It's in your packet too, lecture packet, so this should be here. A trick that we do, especially if you're using colored substances, measuring colored substances, is a plain printer paper. Okay? I showed this on the video too. Plain printer paper. And then we put this behind. It's easier to see. Okay. When measuring, I will really look for that lower meniscus. So you want it on eye level. Okay? But how can you do that? Yeah, but our hands are usually shaking. So what I do, I set it on the table and squat. And this is when I told you the first 2 to 5 class I did, I was so pregnant. I was wearing 4-inch heels and running and squatting like this, looking at the lower meniscus. Okay? So I have to find it. I have to see that it's right there on the lower meniscus. Let me stand up. Yeah. Is it on 100?
Yes.
Lower meniscus 100. Robert, stand up. Is it on 100? Okay, take note. What's the spelling of meniscus? Somebody said meniscus, one of my students. Meniscus, okay? Meniscus, this is the spelling. So you look at the lower one. That's the correct measurement, okay? I need 119, not 100. So I need to do another 19 here, okay? When you pour, watch me pour. I try to pour at the middle. Why? The water will adhere on the side most of the time, and it will have droplets. I try to avoid having all those droplets. So, I'm not supposed to put it back, huh? But I will. So it can be from here, or it can be a beaker. Okay, once you get close, what I do is I just get a dropper and add by the drop. Okay? So as you get closer, you want to use a smaller portion. And by using a dropper, you add a smaller portion. So I'm right here right now.
What is that called, the dropper?
What do you call the dropper?
Is that our lecture packet?
I want it to be short so that I can show you.
Pipette?
Very good. There you go.
Take note too. Check the increments, they're not always one. Sometimes they go by twos. So you're going to be in between, which is harder to do, okay? So make sure there are 8 in betweens for you to say that this is 1 ml per line. So I'm right here now. Okay, Tony, up. Can you check the measurement of this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at 19? Lawrence. It has to be at 19. It is? Are you sure? Brandon, up.
That's not going to see.
Is that 18?
There you go. I was about to say, Brandon says, I'm going to call the ladies. Okay, it's at 18. Okay, so this is the point where you just want to use your pipette or your dropper until it gets to 19. Right? So what I do, and then still look at the lower meniscus. Okay, be careful though. If I see a lot of drops on the side, I do this. Okay, and let those drops fall. Okay, now I'm at 119. Okay, what did it say? Get a third. Pour in a third of it, right? So I'll just do this. You don't have to divide 119 by 3. Just estimate. You can see this, right? And then you pour. Okay. While I was doing it, why do I have to look straight? Right on, finding the lower meniscus to avoid, it's also on your book or lecture packet. What kind of error? Right, for the letter P. This comes up on the test, that's why I talk about it. Parallax error. Okay, why? Parallax error is looking at a wrong angle. Okay, that's why we want to look straight so that we don't get the parallax error that comes up on test. Okay, shape, add the remaining 2/3. Okay, and then shape again. A couple of things that we may ask: what's the auxiliary label that we must put on a suspension? Shake well before you use it. Do you expect all of the powders to dissolve if this is a suspension? No, okay, and then I may ask you, how much is the total volume of this prescription after you've reconstituted? 150 ml, okay? Tony, how much did I add as a diluent?
119 milliliters.
119. What's the strength of this antibiotic? Strength. After reconstitution, what is the strength?
No, no, it's 70 milligrams.
What does it say? Okay, you'll have to find it, okay? It's not 5 milliliters. What's the strength of this? After reconstitution.
30 like milligrams per milliliter, right?
Very good, Tom.
So what did you do?
It's going to be 250 milligrams per 5 ml. That's what it said on the label, right? It means that, remember 5 ml is a teaspoon? For every teaspoon of this drug, amoxicillin, that you give the patient, usually a child, it has 250 milligrams of active amoxicillin. Can you follow? And these are the things that we may ask you during the checkup, right?
What about the difference?
Okay.
What is there a difference?
Powder displacement. I can ask you, Mr. Schiff can ask you, what's a powder displacement? What does powder displacement mean? Final volume minus initial volume. Okay, so that's 150 ml minus 119. So what is your powder displacement?
31.
31 ml is your powder displacement. You got it? The words that are coming out of my mouth may be fun to hear, very technical, but they always come up on the board exam. Okay, that's why I said you should have started with a good notebook, because I always say the hint and the wink wink. Okay, there are 5 people who contacted me who I don't know, and they're at their wits' end. They failed the PTCB twice. 5 people over the weekend messaged me, and they finally passed after finding me. Okay, you guys are lucky. Everything I say is because I've been teaching for 12 years. And students come back and say, these are the things that I see. And I actually took the test for you too, 3 years ago. I walk your shoes so that you cannot say that, oh, it's difficult. I walk your shoes. I took the test as a Pima student. Okay? So Reconstitution is part of the agenda today. I'm not leaving the campus. I'm just going to be online. I'm going to have to zone out. So Mr. Schiff is going to do the checkoff for you guys. But this is where we finish it. Counting, Mr. Schiff will actually walk you through the counting if you haven't counted tablets. Okay? We're going to finish all the tablets. Now I have a question. You want to go on a 10-minute break or just continue? What's that? Break? Okay. 11:15, come back. Those who don't want to take a break, that's fine. We can continue. Mr. Schiff will check. I need to sign in on my screen. We're not usually numbers like this if we have them every day.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we're trying to maximize the days they're here. Okay, so I gotta find Peggy's email to log in. Rupert. You're joining on Thursday, right?
No, the 24th. The
I
30th
should
and
have done
24th.
that, but before we scheduled this already committed, so I didn't want to. Oh, it downloads when you have to go to a Zoom meeting.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, you know why? Because it's Groundhog Day on that computer. Zoom is one of those things that doesn't hold.
They should have just put time in here. Deep freeze, yeah.
That and volume, that's all you'll have to, it'll actually, once you plug the earphones in, it'll ask you, it'll say earphones, but you have to turn volume on and off every day.
Oh my
It sucks.
I know. It's so funny. It's so different. Like what I told you, when I walked in, everybody went quiet. But when you walk in, it's like, this. You can just say the familiarity, you know. They haven't seen me, I haven't been working with them in the lab. There's a lot of freshmen, so they
Well,
don't.
I've been here, and then I was online with them for the last 2 weeks.
Right. And they don't know what to expect, like me.
I'm gonna give them different.
Yeah, and ask them what that is, augmented. They should know what augmented. Oh my God. You use headphones, right?
Yeah, I have mine are in the drawer.
But I have to connect to audio.
Do we want to do the liquid into the syringes, the oral?
What is it?
You want me to do the oral?
Oral syringe.
That was one thing you told them, you wanted them to do oral dosing on one?
Not today.
That's it.
Yeah, because we're running out of time. It's already 11:09. I want them to clean up and not us cleaning
All
up.
right, so we'll do this and then clean up.
Yeah. They have to go through the pill counting.
Most of them have done it.
Oh, really?
Just a few are left, but that's okay. I left it set up.
Pill counting, geometric dilution,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
and reconstitution. Nobody has even gotten to this extra.
Okay.
I didn't know I wasn't muted.
When?
Right now.
Oh, that's funny. You want to pause this? Okay, keep it going.
It's okay. I don't want to forget. I can just clip that fast.
not gonna go on your month?
For instance, are you gonna not get to go on your 1 month break that you wanted to go on?
Looks like it's gonna be 2 months, 2 weeks.
Why? I thought you wanted to go over to,
Yeah, I wanted to
go home.
but I can't.
They haven't looked at it,
No, they're going on-
even though you have your
Curfew.
vaccination.
But they're not vaccinated.
Oh.
They're not even close to 10% of the population.
Really?
So I'm gonna have to do 2 weeks at a time until I can. Because I'm losing all this PTO and I can beat it back if I use it 2 weeks at a time. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, what about your 6 months that you were gonna take?
You know, I have therapy.
You started it in COVID.
I don't know, Stephanie Weeks, she was the one that was referred to me, but she didn't return my call until yesterday and I wasn't in meeting.
Oh, it took that long for somebody to get back to you.
Maybe have to find somebody to look.
Yeah, that's hard too.
Yeah. We got me and his friend's named Jimmy.
Yeah, so it's Miss Trisha, huh?
Yeah.
So this is gonna be measuring the liquids and the recon, right? Oh, okay.
Add 90 milliliters of distilled water, shake vigorously. 100 again. Right, so we need to-
Do the sterile waters for the measurement after you're done, Kevin. You had asked, we'll do the 15 mLs and then the 37 of sterile water.
Okay,
Get those on after you're, either before or after you're done.
okay. Roger.
I guess before would probably be easier.
Okay. No.
Oh, you were.
No. So you mean that's not for the.
At 90, when you measure at 94 days. That's it.
Adding up weight, salt, water.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get another more.
Purposes check. Menton,
It says, can I borrow the phone?
I became mom and then we can talk. Without the mom.
Okay, oh,
Yeah.
okay. And then. You can just say email. Directions for recon at 90 milliliters of distilled water, and then shake vigorously. Identity is 90. And you would pour it in, and she said, "Are we doing it?" At 90 and then 60. Add the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've already waited. I'm waiting for it. Be patient, this is Patricia. Yeah, okay.
Pharmacist there.
Oh, so you're doing
Yeah. Take it out this month.
Yeah, eat it.
There's another way of doing that. I did it anymore, there's another, there's like a couple more. And then next Tuesday is another.
Are you okay with me dumping this?
Oh, so I
Okay. Kind of bottom. They look nothing.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Fine.
Yeah.
That's why I did. Oh, we can also this one. Oh, money shot. Let's go.
What I did was like, I have them both on my I know my one's really nice. And I think I just have some salt.
Wait, what do you call that? What's that called? Oh, like, no, just these, yeah, we tend to be on that. When you start drawing up like these, you know, well, you have, whether you're like right on the line, seeing it, like to be right above it, some people like, you just, you have a heavy hand over. Okay.
When you're putting it back in.
I just like one. Okay, one is this one.
I don't know.
You guys have a nice.
Oh, every time you go.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. But you know, that's a good learning experience for us as instructors to not expect you guys to know.
I'll give you guys some bottom. You do one? Yeah, yeah. Oh, you guys got one already? I didn't see the water. Yeah.
Oh, this one's available. I was just saying something. This one, I guess.
Where's the salt?
Oh, wow.
They gave me brand salt.
Isn't this the most fun class? A lot of work, guys. A lot of things you can actually use in your day-to-day life, like encapsulating. You can encapsulate anything, okay? Like birds, and then talk about that in a minute, okay? There's a, yeah, you can encapsulate seeds. Yeah. There's a place called Herbally Grounded. Yeah, and then you can make like, there's one of my favorite places when I talk about compounding, okay? You go to, because they're gonna walk through just different herbs and you can encapsulate the name into like elixir, okay? And those are the different dosage forms. You're fine.
Looking for a voter.
Did you like have to demonstrate? No, I just Well, because at the beginning I asked her about it and nobody. Before I started, so she would,
Okay, then the academic will allow.
I don't know, what do you think? Are you feeling pretty confident?
Did you do the geometric solution?
See, you got those muscles or something? No. No pain. Right here? Yeah. Pretty good? You see? I'm sure, it's okay. This was smooth too, though.
Thank you.
Or we should just.
Yeah, that
Oh, no, I want just go say it. Oh, this one, this is a small one. Good job, you guys. We got some, non-sterile compounders in here. Good job. It's the COVID vaccine. Oh my God. Wait, what did you do with yours? I explained this to her. Sorry, I'm mixing it. Yes.
Gonna clean up after your boards today. Who needs to leave at 12? Who wants to stay? Who wants to stay?
Oh, you just used
So
it.
I know. Who wants to stay? No one? So you're gonna try and finish it this midnight. 12 p.m., okay? Well, yeah, this one. I didn't do that. All right, so do we know how to count down our user description? So you can see yours is.
You know, you always do that. You just do this. Oh, it's something. You do it, you don't like always clean it. So you're at 4.4 miles. It's a little over, yeah. Now for this one here, you're gonna do sterile water. Just right here and this sterile water. Yeah, but this should. Your initials are not. No, you have to put your initials there now. That's the opposite initials are N-A, and I said, no, you have to put your initials there.
I didn't even think that that wasn't his initial.
I was like, no, you have to put your initials there. I knew.
Oh, yeah, that's your initial, no R6.
I'm like, no, you have to put it. Did you have that? That's what I'm about to do.
What's done their drug words and abbreviation quizzes already?
I tried to, but I didn't.
Okay. I thought the app didn't open. It was like, oh.
I was
Anybody try? Okay, the due date for that is tomorrow, Wednesday. Okay? At noon, then it closes. Okay? Drug words and abbreviation, only because this class is really, really heavy. Okay, that's why I gave that extension. And then I see you live. When? When do I see you live? Thursday at 10, okay? There's a little bit of change. You're back to campus on Friday, okay? And you're gonna do your liquid measurements. Let me put that in there too, Kevin, before you take that picture. So you don't miss it. needed to do this week are on the board.
Premises correct. And then take it back to. Yeah. What's the brand for your, So, how much are you gonna add? Is there anything you
Almost, I just need the, pharmacist check, fresh rock with the spice mark.
How are you gonna, add this on? You're gonna take your dog and you only have to do one guy, you don't have to do a second one.
So this is for the achievement, division.
Okay.
So.
Don't drop your suspensions in the sink, huh? You gotta clean those out, okay? But drop them in trash bin, rinse it off, turn it upside down in the dish rack.
You don't want him to rinse it down the sink
No, because that's
after it's into a
flour.
liquid? Okay.
That's flour, so they gotta do it in the trash.
Okay.
They work out more than me.
24th.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You need your gloves.
We just don't put it in the trash, right?
Yes.
Did everybody get to do reconning?
You should have done the weighing the trituration, the geometric dilution, the reconstitution of antibiotic, the counting of tablets or capsules, controlled or non-controlled, by 12 noon today.
Well, these actually.
Okay?
All you're doing is you go back over there. You're just gonna pour water.
Things that need to be done this week are on the board as well.
You got the exact 19, you know, with 37. So they're like, I'm ready.
So we can take a quick snapshot.
Pretty straightforward.
Patricia, I don't remember where Pink Basket is. That is our
I have
quote.
no idea where it went.
I know that is our quote unquote locker for phone. Trish, did you find this?
I found the one, it was up on the top of the thing, but that's the only one I found. I didn't look over there. I put it down there on purpose, because it was up here, but I don't, that's the only one I found.
Let me check it.
I think you need gloves for capsule making.
If you guys can hire me on
Okay.
if you're done, you can help me out.
Yeah, no one's using this one, right?
In there so that they dry upside down.
You want
One
this for the flippity phone?
Yeah, I used it before. Oh, okay, cool. I told that, some students that were night that are getting ready to do that.
Yeah.
Because they had never done this.
They do, but very limited, very selective. Like,
Well, no, they never did the control. They did maybe measuring, counting on the counting tray, measuring very minimal, but they didn't have. So I did,
but there's one.
yeah.
The capsules, when you make the staff like that, you have to remove the side of the body.
Half of the body. Yeah, half the body when you're making the block. About half the body. Thank you. And then all the body. And then you pretty measured based on height. So that would be 500 for each one times 50. This is going to be how much? Oh, then it's all with the margin there.
Sorry.
And then you spread it out. And then you move it back. All of the body. Once you poured everything, you can see that it's cracked. So you spread it out with the mortar.
Also, can you guys wipe off the tables if you clean off the
Then you
tables?
release it all the body down the up. That's fine. So you have to think of this as this, and that's why we have to wear gloves, we make capsules, and we have to polish. There's no special color for polishing. Make sure you take a picture or take notes of the ones required of you. They're on the board, okay? It's gonna be hot this week, excessive heat warning, so stay hydrated and stay cool.
Those go right up there, there's a thing, count on it. See them right up, oh, you see it, there you go.
Ms. Trisha may give you a pop quiz on Friday before we start to make sure that you've watched all the videos.
Where's the table weight?
White? There should be a jar. Try doing a couple of capsules if you're done. Try doing the punch method. That's so you can actually feel and see how it's done.
Oh, you gotta tell me how much you decided to use, why?
119 milliliters water, because that's the water we added. And I have a third total amount. Shake pregnancy with water, then add the remaining water.
Okay, did you do anything right here now before?
Oh,
What are we doing here?
we got the cotton. Zero.
You are a little short, you want 19. Yeah, just a little bit.
Don't think of it as Coke, okay? That's flour, okay?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Remember, you gotta wear gloves when capsule making, okay? You don't want your body oils on the capsules of your patients. There's this place in town called Herbally Grounded. It's a really, really good place where you can get herbs that you can encapsulate, or barks of trees, roots of trees where you can make elixir out of. I think there's 2 locations now. One is in Charleston and one on Eastern, okay? I haven't been there for years, okay? But feel free to swing by, because that's a really, really good practice for compounding. Or ingredients. We don't have time to do projects, just time for compounding. That's where usually students go for ingredients. Again, make sure you've gone through all of this checkoff before you leave that door. Weighing, trituration, tablets or capsule counting, reconstitution of antibiotics. Yeah? Okay. Geometric dilution. Okay. Mixing 2 powders. And then before you hit the door, try doing a punch method for the capsule. I'm not going to check you off on that one. Okay? Don't sniff it. It's not Coke. It's flour. Yeah? That's clear.
I don't know. What's pretty tough?
I know. People sniff anything, even bath salts, right? I've heard. Yeah, so it's crazy. Okay, you guys come back on Friday. You're gonna do more of the liquid stuff, the unit dosing, okay? Did you have fun for that today? It's a lot of work, but very, very easy.
I think there's a couple tables that still need to be wiped off. So just put these paper towels.
That's how this
It's a nice team. That's what it
like children's AMOX, bubble gum.
Yeah. Oh, my God, someone out there. Oh, okay.
Bye, guys.
What
Bye.
is it? What is it? Chicken pox?
Oh, that's a chemical. Caladrill. Caladrill for that, but.
That's right, that's a brand, Caladrill, calamine lotion.
Okay. What did you do?
You did good, guys. I'm proud of you.